What's up, you guys? Godzilla fan freaks coming at you today with another figure review. And today we are going to be taking a look at the Bandai 2001, 2002, whatever you place GMK at. This is the GMK Mothra from Bandai. Fun little backstory on this figure. If I had to pick a favorite Mothra outside of Mothra Leo from the Rebirth of Mothra series, this would probably be my favorite Mothra. There's just something about the design of this Mothra. Again, you all know that I'm a sucker for anything purple. When I first saw GMK, I loved Mothra's purple eyes. I loved that she had purple worked into her colors on the wings. And for the longest time, this figure has evaded me. It's either been kind of too pricey for my taste that I want to spend on a Bandai, or some of the listings online like eBay and stuff like that don't look necessarily right, so I never really pulled the trigger. And this is just one of those stories of patience, and my patience paid off, because after years of having this figure on a back burner list of things that I would like to add to my collection, I can finally mark it off. I stopped in to my local Zia Records here in Tucson a couple weeks ago, and this figure was there, and I was blown away at this point. It was just like, what are the random chances that somebody traded in this figure, and Zia Records is now selling it, and for a fair price it was. Otherwise I probably would have not have gotten it. But if you guys don't know, if you haven't heard me explain it before, Zia Records is a local store here in Tucson. They also have a store in Las Vegas, Phoenix. I think there's one in California. I could be wrong on that. But I do know for sure that they do have locations here in Phoenix, in Tucson, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. There are locations for Zia Records. Great secondhand store. I've taken several of my collectibles down there to trade in from time to time to get some trade credit and stuff like that. It's just a great place to go. I love going there, even if it's just to look around. Tons of movies, DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, movie and TV show collections. Not to mention, they do have some books, some pop culture, clothing items and stuff. They do have some Godzilla stuff, and of course people have been bringing in Godzilla stuff. Now, I don't really know. Sometimes I do know who brings in Godzilla stuff down there. But for some stuff that I've seen pop up, I don't know who the mystery Godzilla fan is here in Tucson that keeps bringing stuff to the Tucson Zia location, like this Mothra here. I don't think it was Mike, my good buddy, but and I can't think of anybody else, because then why wouldn't they have given me first dibs on a figure like this? Because this is just an amazing Bandai figure. I know I'm blabbering on about it a lot, but I mean, just to give you guys this backstory and the hunt for it, and just how my patience paid off. Again, randomly, it was a random chance. Like, you can't even put a percentage of the chances of me just randomly coming across this at a store like Zia Records. I mean, it was just kind of meant to be. Like, okay, hey, that GMK Mothra that you've been wanting for a good amount of years now? Here it is. Here's the price. Will you be taking it home? And of course I did. So, just to get started on into this figure, let's just take a look at it. And this figure did come with the tag, might I tell you. So, before we get right on into anything, as you guys know, I do love Bandai figures, but I do take the tags off. I am not a tag keeper of the figures. That didn't come out right. I do not keep tags on my figures. That's pretty much what I meant to say. I take the tags off, so you guys just saw the official removing of this tag that has been on this figure since, 2001, 2002, and it is now removed. Gonna be throwing that away, but I do keep my tags in a separate area. So I do keep all my tags for figures that I have gotten with tag. This looks like to be a little choking hazard warning label tag, so kind of cool there. I'll probably even hold on to that as a nice little keepsake. But here we have the tag. Nice picture of Mothra here from the movie GMK. Open it up. Got that same picture, just in black and white, all your other, legal jargon and everything. And then on the back side, nice close-up shot of GMK Godzilla, the Godzilla logo sticker with the 2001 stamp. And that does it for the tags. Let's go ahead and get those out of the way. And now we can look at Mothra herself. Again, if I had a favorite Mothra outside of Mothra Leo from the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy, this one would be it. I just love this Mothra's design. I love the colors. I love the shape of the wings. They're a lot more like sharper looking. They're not necessarily rounded all that much. I like the antenna. Of course, I love the eyes. Just fantastic design for Mothra that I think, could have been highlighted a little more in the movie to see what she could have, what she was capable of, because we didn't get too many, things out of her in the GMK movie, just like many of the other kaiju outside of Godzilla and Ghidorah on what they could do. Baragon and Mothra were both taken out fairly quickly. For all we know, who knows, maybe Baragon did have a heat ray. Who knows, maybe Mothra here, since her eyes are a very nice, majestic purple, who knows, maybe she was channeling her inner Batra, and maybe she had like purple prism beams, We don't know. All that we got out of this Mothra is that she can fly pretty fast to avoid Godzilla's ray, just barely, and we got use of her stinger. She is able to projectile and shoot a bunch of little mini stingers that probably have some sort of poison or something, I would imagine. I don't know. Nothing was really ever too in-depth with this character, because it's like Mothra's there, here's a battle, and then she's gone. Just like how Godzilla treated a lot of the monsters out of GMK. But enough blabbering. We're almost 8 minutes into this video. Let's just go right on into this figure and let's go over paint applications. Paint applications with Mothra here. Like I stated, I love the colors that they used. Of course, Mothra, you have sporting that very nice, furry, creamy white for her fur and everything on the outer parts of her wings and the inner workings of her body and whatnot, as well as her legs. You also get some brown shading here going down the middle of the legs and where the wings reach into the body. So you do have very nice brown shading there. Very, very nice bright orange here with a very much brighter yellowish orange to get that little detail out of the top of the head there. But very nice oranges. All the blacks within the wing, very nicely done. And of course you have black back here for her little, stinger. And the undercarriage of the carapace. Is that how it's explained in bug anatomy? More black here on the face for like the mandible and jaw area. Very nice yellows highlighted here on the sides. I like the way that stands out. Again, very, very colorful, elegant looking Mothra here. Black around the rim of the eyes. And then, of course, the eyes themselves are a very, very beautiful purple. I just love that color. And then, of course, Mothra's wings being the highlight. You have reds, you have oranges, you have yellows, purples. All just very beautifully done and applied throughout this figure. See? Again, Bandai, right? Japanese Bandai figure. Look at this thing. It's amazing. It's beautiful. What's going on with their figures now? Varan, looks so bad. Some of their figures just look so terrible as far as paint. Sometimes the sculpt can be bad too. But here, This right here is such proof of a beautiful figure that Bandai can pull off amazing paint and detail. There's no excuses, Bandai. No excuses for the figures that you put out these days that are, well, sometimes they're hit or miss. Sometimes they're all right. But I feel like they've been more misses these days. So Bandai, give us quality that we know that you're capable of. Please. Moving on next into detail. I don't even know where to start with this figure. Look at the face. Look at all the detailing in the eyes. Just how all of that's just etched in there so nicely. Mandible etched in there. You can see the crease running down the middle side of it. Again, just all the paint separation that they did with all these colors. Again, I don't see any bit of slop or, bleed through. You have a little bit down here, but that's forgivable. Otherwise, this figure is just beautifully well, again, the color separation is outstanding. Look at all the detail in the wings. And all the color helps bring all of that out in different ways. Look at all the lines and the fur softness detail of the body going on the wings. You have these little like armor plates here along these outsides here. Very, very nice. Again, just all that fur detail just makes Mothra look just soft, fluffy. And then you have these more solid details here for these colors. And then you have just that fur etched in there and lining. Again, just the way they separated paint and detail on this figure. Very underrated Bandai figure. This is a great Bandai figure. That's another reason I wanted it, is because this Bandai figure is just outstanding. All the legs, all the claws, and then the little, joint armor pieces there. Just everything. Very, very well done. The licensing and legal jargon stamping there on the undercarriage. But I mean, it's just such a beautiful figure. I definitely recommend picking up. This is probably one of Bandai's best Mothra figures, in all honesty, And I might be biased saying that because this is technically my favorite Mothra design out of any Mothras in the Godzilla series. But how can you not just deny that they just did an amazing job on this figure? It's so beautiful to look at. Colors and detail, perfect. It just looks great. Articulation. Mothra does have a seam at her head that you can, tilt left or right. Wings are separate pieces, but you can't really move those. They don't rotate or anything like that. You can kind of get a little rotation out of them just to like pivot them a little more, but you don't get a lot of range of movement. Legs are pretty much stationary except for these back ones. These back ones have a swivel, so you can swivel them left, right, put them all the way out to the side if you want. However you want to pose them, they are on a swivel, and then that about does it for articulation. Again, Bandai, short and sweet when it comes to articulation, but they did give us some with this Mothra figure. And again, I just think it's such a beautiful figure. I'm so happy to finally have one. Again, my favorite Mothra, if I had to choose one. And she stands up too. You can use those hind legs and give her a nice base to stand on. and then that's what she would look like on the shelf. But you all know me and how I pose my figures that are flying. I am most likely going to string her up on the ceiling somewhere and find her a spot, put a hook in the ceiling, run some fishing line, and get her suspended. So that's what I have the fun task of doing after I'm done with this review. Moving on to scaling. How is Mothra going to scale, you say? Well, not necessarily 6-inch. Mothra here, I want to say, is more along like 8-inch scale for Bandai, because here is my GMK Godzilla, and of course he is more 8-inch scale. But here's how Mothra compares. Might even have to pull out into a wide shot here. But here's how Mothra compares to the larger 8-inch scale GMK Godzilla. Not bad. Not bad at all. If anything, they do size in very well next to each other. These look pretty awesome and spot on. You can even put Mothra here. Bam! Look at that. I just set Mothra down and it's like these figures were made to go together. Bandai. Perfect. So, yeah, that's how Mothra scales in with Godzilla. And then you can place her feet and everything perfectly to where she just holds on. So, great scaling there with the Bandai GMK. Moving on here. How about we do a more 6-inch scale Bandai Godzilla? Mothra absolutely dwarfs this guy. Heck, Mothra's body, besides the wings, is about the size of the figure. So, how Mothra would scale in with your average 6-inch Godzilla. This is more or less what you're looking at. And then finally, let's get another GMK out here. Since this is the GMK Mothra, here she is sized up against the SH Monster Arts. So again, really goes well in scale with the larger, close to 8-inch scale GMK Godzilla from Bandai, but pretty much everything else she's going to absolutely dwarf and be way bigger than. But just to give you some size comparisons with her Godzilla co-star. And that just about does it, you guys, for this figure review. I hope you enjoyed. Let me get Mothra set back here and let's get that tag in frame. And let's wrap this up. So, without further ado, you guys, that is my review on the Bandai GMK Mothra. Very, again, happy to have one of these. Again, my favorite Mothra. I just love the purple colors. I think that's what does it for me, is the colors at the end of the day. Colors and the design. I just really overall liked it. I wish we got to see more of Mothra in GMK because, again, we all know Mothra to have a great array of powers, sometimes anyway. So maybe this Mothra just wasn't packing as past Mothras. But I still think Mothra was a little underutilized in GMK. Pretty much to the point to where they should have just kept it the original cast, which was Anguirus, Varan, and Baragon, instead of scrapping Anguirus and Varan and giving us Mothra and Ghidorah. If you're going to do that, do it the right way. But I would have much preferred still to this day to have seen the original cast of GMK versus what we got. But we got a cool Mothra out of it. I like it. So GMK, probably my favorite of the Millennium series anyway. So I feel like I rambled on in this one a lot, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. As always, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Always smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, atomic blast them, if you will. Don't forget to like and follow Godzilla Fan Freaks over on Facebook and Instagram as well. That way you stay up to date with everything going on and all that good stuff. So without further ado, you guys, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.